Hey, you guys, this is Sky, Juice, and Tony B. We are back.
We are
We
back.
had a little technical difficulty, but we want to finish the conversation. So hopefully
Sorry about that, guys.
life happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we were talking about was, is it realistic for men to be providers in 2021? I think not. That's my answer is not. Only because I'm looking at the majority of working men in this country today. I'm not looking at if you are a multimillionaire or even if you make high six figures, because even at $100,000 to $300,000, I still think your lifestyle is going to be a little bit higher end, but your expenses are going to be higher end. So what I'm going to do is, since the last time we played the video, it got copyrighted. So I'm going to post it in the comments, and you guys are free to look at the video at your own. How many times did it post? Okay. You're free to look at the video whenever you desire, so that you can understand what we were talking about. But basically, the conversation was, it was a married at first sight a couple that they put together. The story put them together, and then they had the wife, who is the independent woman, she works and what have you, said, yeah, I need my husband to pay 100% of the bills. And he was kind of flabbergasted, because she's like, yeah, absolutely. And he was like, no, I'm going to pay 50-50. I'm making your life easier already by paying half. So that's just like fundamental differences that I feel like they should have figured that out on the application.
That goes back to what I always talk about, the compatibility and the communication as well, because some people just aren't, comfortable communicating that. And then what happens, you're not, you're missing each other. You know what I mean? When that situation comes up, now everybody feels awkward because you never had that conversation in the first place, or you know how to bring it up.
That's an important conversation.
Oh, yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, like I know, everybody doesn't communicate well.
So let me ask you a question, Tony. You fall in love and you decide to, settle down with somebody. What do you think is reasonable? Is it based on how much you both make? Or do you feel like, as the man, this is your job?
I don't know. It depends on how much you make. You know what I mean? Like, how can you look at a situation? Because like I say, if a person doesn't make a certain amount, it seems like if you're saying that automatically disqualifies that person.
Disqualifies them from what? Doing the job?
To being able to even date you.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it like that. Did I say it like that?
No, but when you say a person has to make a certain amount,
you said, you went to the hardcore extreme that a woman is making $150,000 a year and the guy is making 45. That's
okay. No. Okay, so we'll
but there are cases when men make that much and women make that much, and it works. So
why can't it work the other way around though?
Right, it could.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, let's not make it that far. Let's say a man makes 80,000 and a woman makes 40,000, or vice versa. Or okay, let's even take that whole equation out.
I know where you're going, and I'm ready.
One makes 80, one makes 85.
Okay. Let's use numbers that are a little bit easier. So this is how someone said this somewhere in the internet somewhere, and I thought it was really like a good way of doing math. So say, I won't even use genders, right? But this is where this whole story is coming from, but I won't even use genders. One partner is making $100,000 a year.
Okay.
The other partner makes $50,000 a year, right?
Okay.
The partner
that's a big gap, but yeah.
A big gap. The partner that makes 100 should pay a higher percentage. it shouldn't be 50-50. It could possibly be like 60-40, 70-30 because they make more money.
Now, does it matter if it's the man that makes more?
No, I just said, I just, because we're living in modern times.
Yeah.
Like you said the other day, a lot of women are really successful and progressive.
There's a new saying that women say, let me upgrade you. They upgrade you. They take you from, making this and doing this to making that and doing that. You know what I mean?
I think women make men's lives better because they say men in relationships live longer, and I just feel like
men live longer. No, women live longer.
No, men in relationships versus men not in relationships.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they live healthy. Not only do they live longer, they live healthier. So they have a home cooked meal. They have sheets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need to get a girlfriend or wife or something so I can put a little extension on my life because based on that theory,
guys do the.
I might be shortening my life a little bit here. I don't know.
Brian says, Brian is Mr. Controversy. So you love me, but because I don't make as much as you, I get the axe. No, I wouldn't say that, Brian. Brian also says, why are we focused on money? This is the world we live in. So, my grandmother said, the same effort it takes to date a broke man is the same effort it takes to date one who has money. Like, it's the same energy.
Okay. I get that. So
yeah, like what effort are we, I'm not a gold digger, so I don't fall under that line of thinking, but I definitely have very in-depth conversations with my single women friends. So this is definitely stuff that we talk about. And the thing about it is, the truth of it is you should be with someone who makes you happy. And there's a beautiful connection. That's what the truth is, right?
Kima Loving put a really good comment up.
Say it again.
I said Kima Loving put a really good comment up.
I know Kima. Millionaires can still be pricks. How one makes a living and how they treat others is most important. Absolutely. Brian, Ralph, what did I fool you about? We are talking about money because the conversation is it realistic for men to be providers in 2021? That's the conversation is all about money. So yeah, that's what it's about. And women are under the guise. This is deep generational conversations that women have with women, mothers have with daughters, that a man is supposed to take care of a woman. This is what we've been taught. Whoever hasn't been taught that, raise your hand and say something different. I know I've been taught that. However, the funny part of that conversation is I've also been taught to be the independent woman and take care of myself. So there is,
yeah. See,
it's crazy.
See, so it's I think it really does come down to the communication part and a person kind of, having a little dialogue and kind of understanding how one thinks and how the other one thinks. And then even, in the beginning of dating, you kind of want to find out what a person's financial status is and what kind of money they're making. And,
that was a question on one of my girlfriend's pages. She said, at what point in your dating, like you meet someone, y'all like each other, you go on dates, you're getting close, a few months goes by, y'all are still, involved. At what point do you talk about the money? At what point do you talk about finances?
Okay.
And my answer I thought was really good. My answer was, you really don't have to have that conversation unless you're about to combine finances, number one. But if you're trying to get an idea of how much the other person makes or where they sit, you can just tell by looking. It's just obvious.
She said you can just tell by looking, huh?
You can tell by looking. Like, you can see where they eat, what they drive, how they dress, where they live. You can see a person's parameters based on how they carry themselves.
That's true, but at the same time, that still doesn't give you a.
Sarai says, when shit starts to get serious,
it starts to get serious when it hits the fan.
You can tell.
But even then, you can see a person's financial status and where they're at. But that doesn't mean that's going to let you know how they're going to spend their money and how they're going to want to share it or thinking that it's even fair for them to want to share. There's some really selfish people out there, men and women alike. So you still don't know. Just because they make this type of money, you don't know how they're going to spend that money and how they're going to want to share that money and how they're going to want to build in a relationship, in a marriage. You know what I mean?
Derek says, hi, Derek. He's from the Virgin Islands.
What's going on, Derek?
Woman and manhood has been hijacked by this so-called modern society, advanced civilization, and defined by whom. It really shouldn't matter, as they truly love each other and define what they deemed appropriate for their union. I don't agree. Okay. Raquel says, discuss finances when you are considering living together in any fashion. Any way people want to split it up is fine, as long as both are in agreement and talk about it and are flexible if situations or income change. Smart.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree.
Definitely.
But I don't think we live in those times anymore. That's my thought about it. I think that we live in a time period now where a woman is capable of bringing in as much or maybe even more than a guy. So I don't really think it's his responsibility anymore. I don't look at it that way. I don't think it's fair. Mm-hmm. I remember when I met a girl down in Puerto Rico and we had that conversation. And when we had that conversation, I was saying it's the man's job, that like point blank period. That's where I was back then. She said, yeah, but that's why men are dying. Because
damn, they're working themselves to death, huh?
They are. Men are working. Men work themselves to death to provide for their family, and they're not only is it their health, but their stress level and everything is just.
Put the variables in there. We're talking about a couple that lives in San Francisco, New York, Southern California, Miami. Those are very expensive places. Or you're talking about somebody that might live in Atlanta, might live in Texas, might live in Alabama. These places are a lot cheaper to live, to where a man can be like, I got this, don't worry. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of variables.
Living also affects how much you make.
Not all the time, but yeah, you're right. The wages should kind of reflect the cost of living. If someone
transfers, they probably will have to take a pay cut if they live in a cheaper city.
Or
if they transfer to California, they might make, I'm making more money. And then he goes sees that house bill.
I mean, even then, that kind of goes back to what I always talk about is, the financial literacy part. And, how are you living? Are you living with one job or are you living with multiple streams of income?
And that's and if you're in a marriage or any type of togetherness life where y'all are like combined forces, that should be the mission.com. Like that should be the mission. Like it shouldn't, like if y'all are about, well, this is my job and he's like, well, this is what I do. Like now we have to be like, okay, we're about to do this. All right. We got to create another business. We got to buy and sell property. We got to do something else to make this like that's to me what a partnership is. Like you should really be like talking about, what are you good at? What are you going to like? To me, that is really the only reason to join forces with anyone is like love, romance, and all that. That's the glue. That's the thing. But now it's like, okay, let's put on our smart business-minded brains and make this thing work.
So, do you have the part of the relationship or starting a relationship where you talk about actually building? You know what I mean? Because I think that's important too. When you talk about building, what are we going to build? Do you want to build? Where are you happy with being in your life, in a relationship? All these things go back to the communication and compatibility. So it can all kind of mesh together as far as what your what your goals are and what you're thinking about in a relationship. And all this early on needs to be spoken. And once you speak that, you have a better situation, because the link that you placed in there with that show and the way it's based, you don't have that time to really get to know each other. They're knowing each other as they get to know each other as they go. So you can't really put
that couple will not survive. I
pretty
can.
much. I would like
don't
to see
even
how
have
that
to
ended.
see the show to know that she's like, he's not about that life. The unfortunate part about her thing is he might potentially be the right guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that women need to understand. He might be the right guy for her, but she's going to overlook that because he's not willing to pay for the whole thing. And he said, you want me to kill myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me see some of these comments because, hey, Kelly, she said, it doesn't feel right to even think of teaching my daughter to expect a man other than her father to take care of her. Joseph said, prenuptial is always on the table, protect both people. Yep.
Yeah.
Brian, our resident,
hey, he's a top fan right now. He's a top fan.
We need a name for you, Brian. Your relationship is based on material possessions.
Not everybody's relationship.
No, I don't agree.
Money does come in.
It's based on being smart. Most labor jobs are designed for male strength, and those jobs pay a lot. Let's see.
How long can you do that job that provides?
Right. Kima says, if you're into popular trends, trendy relationships, and keeping up with the Joneses, you will burn out fast. Pretty much. Kelly says, what do we teach our children that are about to become adults? Look at it from that position. Okay. Yeah. So I think, I just think it's not, I don't think it's practical. I just don't think it's practical. If other people think differently, please speak up in the comments. Like, Tony, what is your position? Do you think it's practical that a woman be, that a man be the provider point blank? Or like in the show?
I mean, like I said, it all depends on the person's situation at the time. Like, I can only speak for me. If I'm in that position, I haven't always been in the position I am right now in life, as far as being, financially good, but not in a situation where I was always there. So it was a buildup. I think for everyone, it's a buildup to get to that point.
Yeah.
So then it's like you talking to someone, you see the potential in them, they see the potential in you, and then they see the light at the end of you. Well, you both see the light at the end of the tunnel. You say, you know what, we're gonna hang in there together. We're gonna be loyal to each other, and we're gonna get to that point. And I'm gonna have your back, you'll have mine. Until we get to that finish line. Yeah, until we get to that finish line. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
I think that's kind of how you got to look at it as well. As far as you want to get there, and you're having that conversation. Do you think that person is worth getting there?
I think there are a lot of, I have women friends who believe the man is the wallet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Believe me, there is a lot. There's a lot of women out there that think that, and there's men that kind of think that, and there's certain men that think they should be the wallet, they should be the breadwinner, they should be the provider, but they think the woman should be the domesticated queen of all. You know what I mean? Cooking and cleaning and quilting blankets and you know what I mean? All that, soccer mom and all.
Grace says, I definitely think it depends on the situations of each partner, but I never feel like it's something that should be expected. Agreed. Brian says, I will always take care of my woman. So what does that mean, Brian? Do you mean
take care? Yeah.
Do you mean, what does take care of? Do you mean just financially just going to pay for everything, like boom? Or what? Kama, sorry.
Uh-oh.
I'm just reading. I'm sorry. I'm in. Let's see. Amanda says, I don't mind being taken care of. If their purpose is to make me happy, I'm not going to stop them.
Okay.
Sean Bowen. Okay. Brian says, but she better bring something to the table besides an appetite. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, so that's the other part. You know, it's like in the video, he was like, "So do you cook?" And he was being funny, but he was being serious at the same
Yeah,
time
he was.
because you know, the expectation that if a man is providing majority, whatever the percentage is, whether it's 100%, 70%, 65%, he has the thought that he should be taken care of like domestically.
Okay.
You know, he wants meals cooked, he wants house clean. He feels like he's paying to do that. Do you see that?
Yeah. I mean, I see that part. I see how he looked at it like that, but then, you know, it's like it's a lot expected over here, but then it's going to be a lot expected over there as well.
Right. It should be equal. Like I was saying to you the other day. So, and this is the part that I think, and I don't know if some women feel this way, right? This is the part where I don't think it's fair. So if a man is, and I know men who they get paid and they just hand the check over to the woman.
Yes, I do
right?
too. Yeah.
And she's the money manager. She pays the bills and stuff like that. But you know what she also does? She makes sure his underwear are folded and nice and there's no holes in them. And she goes down to the Walmart or Amazon and orders him fresh underwear so that he don't look raggedy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she makes sure that when it's time to go out, they got a fresh outfit. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's going to be doing like 90 hours a week making this money,
you don't want to be thinking about anything
she's
else.
managing. She's the house manager. She's making sure his shit is correct. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, wait. I skipped some interesting things that I saw pop through this. The comments go like this, right?
Read some comments. Let's see what
I would like to be taken care of too, Amanda. I totally agree, but not for a whole lot. Okay. Joseph says he has a question. What if you're the hustler in the relationship? Or do you mean what if the woman is the hustler in the relationship? Okay. Difficult to build an empire solo, not impossible. So no romance, no wine and dine. I'm in the role of 100% provider, 2 full-time job holder here. So what if the woman is the hustler in the relationship? I love that question because I'm definitely the hustler in my relationships for sure. I definitely go for the money, as you all can hear in the way I speak. And I think the only part about that I've always thought about this my whole life, that I've been working since I was like 15, is I have never been able to fall down and get hurt and know that everything around me would be taken care of. I've never had that security because I've never really had strong providers around me that made sure that if I had to be out for a period of time in working or hustling or all the different activities or my retreats or all the things that I've done over the years, when I had a restaurant back in Baltimore, I have never had that partner that got it 100% if I was out. Never. And so that's the part where the partnership is swayed, because I'm always been the stronger hustler. I'm the gangster when it comes to working. I've always been that way. And that's just the way I was built. It's not gender or, it's not even like I would love the guy to come in or, whatever the partner was, come in and handle stuff even higher percentage than me, but I've always just been able to handle it. I'm good at it. I'm good at working.
And with that being said, if it did happen, would you even know how to react to that? You know what I mean? Because it'd be foreign territory for you, right?
I would still, if I was able, I did it for a long time in Puerto Rico. I didn't work for many years. I didn't work for like 16 years, but I was still making money. So, only since I came to Atlanta have I gotten a job. But I haven't worked for like 16 years. So I've always made money, but I was always doing my own thing. I've always, I think that way. Like I remember when I had my first son and his father gave me $50 and I took the $50. I was home with him. He wanted the housewife. And I was like, okay, cool. He gave me $50 and he said, here's some money. So I went to the bookstore and bought a $50 book to read, and I read it in a day.
Okay.
And he was like, what the hell are you doing spending $50 on a book for? Who does that? And I was like, I do. And the book was wonderful and I enjoyed it, and it's gone. So he didn't appreciate, and that was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to get a job. And that's when I realized, like, don't control me on, I gave you some money and now you gotta
see. And that's what I mean about when you have like a
you can
provider.
No.
Yeah. Do you want to have to be subjected to that type of someone kind of ruling over you because they feel like they can, because, you know, they're making the bulk of the money, or they're just a provider?
Kelly says there are 2 women households and 2 men households. How do they do this? Both are likely contributing. I need more info. I'm not exactly sure where you're going with this.
Yeah, I was lost on that one.
Tina says, I need glasses. In our family, we are both providers. He's always made a higher income, but we've each worked 2 jobs when needed at one time or another. We also take equal responsibility at home, washing dishes and clothes, cutting grass, changing diapers, homework, sports, etc. We take care of each other. That sounds like the modern way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kemma says, being in any relationship should be more beautiful and more efficient than remaining single. Ask the right questions long before the ring and the vows and the kids.
I 1000% agree with that. Yeah.
But it's not always the case, actually. And I find that there are articles out there. I could find it if I had a moment. There are articles that say that single women are happier.
Man, Amanda Simon says some deep stuff right there. She said, if you let the man feed you, you could let them starve you the same way. Whew, that's deep.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Kemma says, don't fall in love if it's looking like he can't catch you.
Okay.
What does that mean?
In what way? Financially catch you, or?
Oh, look. Oh my God, I remember your restaurant. I'm Karaya's daughter. Hey, Grace, how are you?
Look,
Nathaniel says, I worked 2 full-time jobs and still had to come home and cook. Once I forgot to take something out of the freezer and call her to tell her to take it out. What you want me to fix? I got home and she told me to get in the freezer and work it out. I always felt so alone being with her. Well, you know the story. Yeah. Know how to fold them and know how to run.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's time to say. That's it. That's not,
Yeah, and here's the thing. Even though I'm really good with like the hustle side of life, I'm really good with the domestic side of life too. So like I have that, like I could do either. I'm really good. And that's another thing that a lot of the modern independent women don't do. Like Nathaniel just mentioned right here. Like if your partner, whichever gender, because really at the end of the day, sometimes none of that matters, right?
Hey, big bro, my big bro Darrell just tapping in and give a comment here.
Okay, I'm gonna post it so I can finish. We need to put more value in ourselves than just finances. When the money's gone, is the love gone also? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. But should it be though? Should it be? Should it all be about money?
It shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying.
It shouldn't be. But it is. It usually is.
But we talked about that earlier. Is it all about the money, or do you really have some type of connection? Do you really love this? Is there some kind of compatibility there, or is it all about the finances?
No. It is all about the love initially, right? But when you decide to partner with this person and live with them and build a family and a life together, the finances is definitely a bigger part of the conversation. Like, it's not about, oh, I love you so much, we're going to make this work. No, it's, I love you so much, how much do you make so we can make this work? So I'll tell you my thing and you do what you're going to do. And what about who's washing dishes? If I cook, I'm not cleaning anything. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so what about when that bump in the road comes along? When one person has a situation where they lose their job or get laid off, or, the company just goes out of business or whatever. So they got to start all over again. Do you leave that person because of that? Or do you stick it out because you love that? That's what I'm saying. That's what, when we talk about the love, like when the finances is gone, it's over with. Okay. Sometimes the finances. That's what I'm saying. So
No,
sometimes,
it shouldn't be over.
yeah, the
I mean,
finance.
I was joking with Darrell, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, it shouldn't be over. I mean, it just becomes a challenge of life, just part of life, you know?
Mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm.
you know, I just find what I do find is there are people who have a very fantasy thought process about love,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are so in love that they neglect the business of the relationship,
Mm.
right? Because we're so in love, we shouldn't have we're all nothing will fail because we're not going to have conversations and we're not going to plan.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't plan, you plan to fail, put it that way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So no, if this is all love and romance, then finance is a part of the conversation, however they do it. I don't think a man needs to be the provider. And of course, however folks organize it in their household is their business. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's practical for working people, especially because, if a man is a provider, then the woman stays home. You know what I mean? You can't be the provider. Look, this is what I was going to say a little while ago. If a man is the provider and he provides more than 65-70% of the bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
She still needs to provide other things, whether it's the
Yeah.
financial or what have you. She can't be like, oh, well, now that I got all this money, I'm gonna go buy me a $700 wig so I can look good.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about when people are married and they have children, right? So when people are married and they have children, if a woman works, 9 times out of 10, they get 6 to 8 weeks maternity, and all of a sudden they got to go right back to work,
depending on their
job, or they're right. So I would like to say, ideally, a woman would want to be able to be home and raise that child for the first 5 to 6 years. You don't want to just be dropping the baby off with some daycare provider or whatever, and you got to get back into the hustle and bustle of everything, right?
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, so that's why I say, that's why I say that, in some certain cases, I could see where the man being the provider and the woman being able to be at home and be domesticated and watch the baby and, raise the baby, those first 5 to 6, those important years,
yes.
You know what I mean? And be around and not have some stranger be, raising your child and feeding them whatever and talking to them however, or her.
I almost feel like, I know this is not smart because I've had children in different phases of my life. Mm-hmm. And I had children where I had to drop them off at daycare center when they were like months old. And that was the most horrible thing I've ever done. I felt so like a loser. I felt so horrible about that. And then there were times like my youngest, he never had a babysitter his whole life. He never had a babysitter. Like I was with him from birth to present, or his father. Well, then he had my older children's siblings, but he just never had to go into any facility whatsoever. And I was just like, he doesn't even realize the fear that I didn't have, like when I had my older and I had to drop him off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's to be able to be there the whole time, that's golden.
It's everything. It's really, it's hard, to say like you shouldn't do that. But I really think the best way to raise a child, if you're going to have a child, the best way, in my opinion, is to be at home with that child. Like, and then the cool thing about the internet is you could still work online. You know what I'm saying? So that. Let's see. Tina says, I don't know how modern we are. We are in our 50s. Our children are 29, 28, and 15. We have 3 grandchildren. It's all about love and respect.
Okay.
Let's see. Amanda says, I gave my ex paternal leave so that I could run my business. See, I was thinking about that when Tony was talking. Like some countries, fathers get maternity leave too.
Yes.
Or paternity. Yes. Is it paternity leave? So that
in Europe, it's up to a year.
When they're a year?
I believe so. Yeah, in Europe, it's up to a year. The man and the woman can take off. Yeah.
Paid?
Yeah, but then that's when you talk about the medical system here in the United States versus the medical system in other countries. In other countries, it's way more.
God, I love that. I love that so much. All right. Darrell says, we need to stop letting social media dictate what love is to us. Sky Juice, you are correct. Providing just money is not enough. But that woman has to do what God loves and humble herself just enough to appreciate the hard work that man puts in. At the same time, that man has to humble himself to appreciate the nurturing care that women provides. Team play. That's how it's done in our home. Boom.
Right. That's right, big bro. That's right.
Amanda says he got just under a year in Canada paternity leave.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Woo. I wish we had more stuff like that. Because I mean, really, if it's really about the family, then stuff like that is really important. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely are going to be talking about parenting. Me and Tony already came up with some parenting stuff that, ooh,
yeah,
Lord,
yeah,
parenting should be the bigger part of it, because
we got a lot.
Doesn't it like it could take you out? These children.
Yeah, there's no book. There's no book on parenting. So
seriously,
somebody can figure it out, or somebody knows where it's at. Please give me a copy. If not, we just learn as we go, you know?
Yeah. So someone posted something controversial to me.
Okay. Give us the controversy.
I think I had to skip it because I had to get my life together for a minute. Where is it?
Controversy is good sometimes, right?
Yeah, here it is. John Bennett. He says, Brian Ralph, dude, you should watch Kevin Samuels on YouTube.
Had to go there, huh? Had to go there, huh?
Yeah. I think Kevin Samuels is a great guy, and I think he has valid concepts. The problem is he's not really speaking to all of us. You know, he's speaking to women who are looking for a man who is going to be a provider. That's who he's looking. And he's speaking to, and then he's also saying to these women, most of y'all ain't cut out for this job. The problem with what I think where he's coming from, and I have no problem sharing this out loud in the internet, is it's so superficial. He's trying to create like men who are picking women from the toy box and having them stand on their arm, and like the stuff we just talked about connection and chemistry and romance, that is never a part of the conversation. It's literally like you're signing up for a job. You need to look a certain way. How much do you weigh? How tall are you? What do you do? Oh, you work too much? You're a nurse? Oh yeah. A high value man is not here for that. You are here for him, to take care of him. That whole story, I don't even think that's for the majority of us. We are trying to connect with our soul. You get what I'm saying?
Kevin Samuels is all about controversy and shock value. And it works because everybody's talking about him. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend John. I wouldn't recommend Brian watching Kevin Samuels, period. Like Brian is over here. We got Brian. Brian is our friend. So Brian said, John will do. Oh, gosh. Yeah. But anyway, I just feel like, you know, in real life, real people are hopefully having these conversations. The sad reality is women who think they pass the regular guy. What did they say? Women pass Clark Kent every day looking for Superman.
Is that what they say?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They pass the regular guy because he is not fly. He don't make a certain amount of money. But he could be that guy that makes you really happy. And the thing about it is, instead of like, okay, well, he doesn't make Kemma, don't worry. Kemma, don't even worry about him. He's not, you would hate him. I know it. The thing about it is what women are looking for, and that's definitely another good question. I mean, if you're looking for a man to bring you up, why not join the guy, or, you know, if it's the woman, join the person whom you can build with. When they say build empires, when people talk about like, oh, I got to get my family so we can build an empire. Are you building empires, or y'all just working to death till you die?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you actually like, let's put a business together. Let's do like some kind of internet thing. Let's do some kind of like property thing, management, build a farm, do something. Are y'all all really trying to build empires? Because
I mean,
you need
like I
you
said,
need people.
is that conversation even had? Do people even have the conversation about trying to? I mean, what's the end goal? You know what I mean? Is the end goal to work until you're 65 and then retire, and then maybe 5 or 10 years later die? You know what I mean?
And I think that's another thing, is that's why the whole marriage thing becomes is marriage everything? Because I know I have married friends, male, who married the woman who was attractive, they got along, blah, 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 but she doesn't have any business sense in her head at all. She doesn't have any idea. Like, she's like, honey, you know, this cable bill is due, you know, pass me your credit card, you know, that kind of thing. And this one particular friend of mine, his wife, but I would talk to him and we would be talking about like, oh, we need to do this real estate, da, 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 we need to do this, this, and this. And so we have this friendship based on like building empires, and his wife doesn't have a clue, not interested. She got her job. Her husband takes care of the majority of everything.
Man.
But if she, and he said it to me, he said, I wish she was more assertive in that area of my life because I'm not getting it.
What do I always say? Once again, broken record, compatibility.
Well, they're compatible. They have children. They have a house.
Are they? But not
their lifestyle.
They're not compatible in that area, it sounds like.
Well, is it 100% compatibility or is it a high 80?
And you're never going to get that 100, like I say.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that aspect of his life where he wished he had his partner, and that's why polyamory is a good segue. Because are you going to get that 100? You're never going to get 100%. So are you going to get the important things? You know, for him, he's taking care of her. They've agreed to it. It works, blah, blah, blah. But
you froze up there, Sky.
I don't know why.
I can hear you, but you froze up though.
Oh, okay. I am going to come out.
Wow. And she's back.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Now it's a blank screen. Oh, it's a black screen. Brian said, call the help desk. I think it's a little too late for that. Sharon says, whatever works for the couple. Yeah, but you got to have some compatibility. You got to talk about it. You got to know what's what, you know? Sky's having some technical difficulties. Brian, you IT? I need you to troubleshoot this program, make sure everything's working right, because I don't know what she did. I don't know if the camera went out or what. But I'm gonna check out some of your more.
I had to
okay, there you go.
Refresh
refresh it.
My stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, I think this was another good one. We're gonna try to get that prime time a little bit better, even though we got a lot of people chiming in. I got some people chiming in, I think, back on the West Coast too, because I shared the video.
This is Kema's always coming up with the ideas. I'm the proactive one, the initiator, the planner. I don't like being a grown man's social director.
Okay, I can see that.
What else? I don't want to carry another relationship. I'm exhausted.
See that?
I don't know what that means, though. What does carry mean?
Basically be everything, the provider, the man, the woman and the man.
Amanda, just because they make loads of money doesn't mean he's a high value man. Exactly.
See?
Yeah, I don't know. Carry relationship. You shouldn't have to carry it. You should, it should be like synergy, right?
Mm-hmm. A 50-50 equal thing, or, just I always say just having each other's back, right? You want to have each other's back. Yeah. You want to have each other's back, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything.
You don't know anything.
Uh-uh.
We just having a discussion here. We just doing our show, and
It's important to like just have people, I think at the end of the day, I think about things and it makes me like, I feel like if it makes you think deeply, because a lot of people are blindly involved in stuff, and I really, really, really do think that there are a lot of trash marriages out here, and there are a lot of people who are proud that they're married and their marriage is trash. And you guys know the whole truth. Because I know a lot of people who are married and they might as well be single.
They're not happy at all, huh?
No, they're like mediocre all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. And I'm just like, yo, there's nothing dope about being married to like someone who you just have like this mediocre connection to, and it's just a mediocre life, and they're just everything about it is mediocre. It's just horrible. Amanda says, you only carry what you want to fix. We need to stop fixing people.
Ooh, there you go. Stop fixing people.
Darrell says, people have to accept the fact that you get what you allow. You knew that person wasn't the one, but you married them anyways because they look good on your arm. Mm-hmm. You knew he or she was what they were. You tried to make them what you wanted them to be. Then disappointment sets in when your views or goals aren't met. Who are you mad at, that other person or yourself?
That's that plastic one. That's not a real, it's plastic, but you like the way it looks and everybody else.
Sharon says, right. Just because I'm married now, LOL, you're right. Then say why you're not married, LOL. My answer, I look at you married folks in good, LOL. Sharon, please explain. I just think that, okay, so this might go into a different world, but I don't necessarily think marriage is like the end all be all. I don't think someone has to be married. I think that's an individual thing, but I don't think the society has to be a whole married society. I think that it is okay to find your happiness in however you want it to be. However, with that being said, if you're going to get married or if you're going to have a partner, y'all need to be gangsta about it. You know what I mean? Like really like.
Define gangsta.
Sure. Gangsta means, if we're going to do this, we are going to win. Okay, we are winning. Okay, we got our money right. We got our travel plans set, passports ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Properties bought, buildings set up, building. Like there is no reason to be in no dragging ass relationship and shit is not popping. Like there's no like I can do that. I can still pop by myself. You know what I mean? Like if we're going to do this together, now I have two hands and a whole nother brain that
now you're kind of talking about when people talk about the aspect of growing apart. They get together when they're young and they grow apart.
You gotta go.
Yeah. I mean, that happens though. Cause if you're the same person at 40 that you were at 20, then what they say, Muhammad Ali said, you wasted 20 years of your life. You gotta grow. But some people don't. Some people stay stagnant.
The horror stories I hear about. Why are you still married? Oh, because it was ordained by God and you're supposed to be there till you die. You already died. You died. That life died. Get it? You don't have to physically die. Your spirit is dead. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait until your body is in the ground to get out of this dead ass trash marriage. Get the hell on. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm upset now. Nice. Darrell says, Sky Juice Truth, you can do bad all by yourself with no one's help. Mm-hmm. Amanda says, why aren't people being honest with themselves, living lies? I think, Amanda, the way I look at it is there is this, what do you call marriage privilege, right? I know people who are like, oh, yes, honey, I've been married for 20 years, 25. We've been together. We have been together forever, right?
Miserable.
The
whole time.
About 4.5 years. They've been married for 25 years. They've been miserable for 24.5 years. And it's like, they are so happy to show off bullshit. And it's like, you're not even happy. Y'all are not even growing. Y'all are lying and cheating. Y'all are just slimy. Get out of it. Stop ruining your life. Yeah. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the whole provider things goes into the conversation of like, instead of it really being about, is a man going to provide for me? It should really be about how are we going to create this amazing, juicy life? Boom.
Boom.
Final words?
Final words. You know me, another good show. Like I said, we got to start working on getting on a little bit more earlier, you know, that we can call quote unquote prime time.
I don't think it's necessary. You know why?
Huh? Because it's all around the world. I know we got all around the world.
Not only that is we both work late.
Yeah, we both work late. But we're gonna this Thursday, we're going to do an 8 o'clock show. I promise you that. We're gonna do an 8 o'clock show. 8 o'clock Eastern time, probably 5 o'clock Western time or whatever, but we'll get it in.
So what do you want to talk about on Thursday? Do we have any like ideas for Thursday? Because we be coming up with stuff off the cuff.
Okay, let's do something different. Let's ask the listeners what we want to talk about. Because we talk about everything. We don't have to always be relationships. We've been talking about relationships lately, but we talk about everything. So what do you guys think that we should talk about? The audience, our listeners.
Brian is my favorite person. He's the first person to post. Do y'all realize you are in a relationship? That's what Darrell said. Yes, we are in a relationship. It's called co-hosting, baby.
Yeah, co-hosting. Yeah.
Every relationship is a relationship. Yes. Thank you, Darrell. You are dope.
That's big.
Amanda says, okay, this Amanda, I believe must be, I'm sorry, I picked the wrong. Is sex important in a relationship? I think that might be one of her ideas for the next show. I think that's really good. Nathaniel Williams says, when my youngest child was 3 years old, our daughter was 6. I don't even want to read this, Dan. I already know it's misery. I'll leave it in the comments. It just already sounds tragic.
Nathaniel,
here's the thing. If you're not happy or if you weren't happy, just be like this. Look, I look at my skin watch. This is what I'm good at doing. Oh, it looks like it's time for me to go.
That's what you say? That's what you do?
I don't have a watch on. I'd be like, I look at my skin like, yeah, it's time for me to get the hell on. You know what I'm saying?
Skin 30 telling you it's time to go.
What?
Skin 30 is telling you it's time to go.
Yeah, like you don't really, a lot of people have these sad stories, and I'm just like, yo, you're choosing that. Safari says sex and parenting. Ooh, parenting.
Either one of those, not together, but separately, right? She means
we need one to get the other.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But I think sex is really good because, I think there's a lot you could talk about when it comes to sex. Like
that definitely got to be after hours conversation.
Like my whole this is not part of the conversation. This is like for the future, but like you're involved with someone for a long time and then it just dries up.
That's why you got to keep the spice.
We both had the same expression.
You got to keep the spice in your life. You got to,
Like, what do you do?
I mean, you got to have that.
And is that an emergency or like some like, like, hey, honey?
I mean, that's such a big, wide table of conversation and different directions that you can go when it comes to that. So I don't even know if we won't even want to go there. Good grief.
I love it. Let me go get that coconut oil.
I'm gonna drink some Hennessy that night again. I said I wasn't gonna drink doing the show again, but I might need a drink for this one.
No, I think that that would be a really fun conversation, to tell you the truth. And I really think that people are really sexually inhibited. Is that the right word?
I guess I was gonna say sexually kind of suppressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they are. I think most people are.
So this is going to be for
some of my friends.
Thursday's topic. Is this where we're going to go with it, or
Yeah,
what?
we'll get more get a good question going and see, which direction we'll go with it. But I think,
Yeah, that I think the sex one got to be an after dark show because it might get a little bit graphic and a little bit, the primetime show. We got to
make
do a
sure
little
the kids are sleeping.
PG, yeah, we got to do a little bit of PG on that one.
Brian, please. Brian, where are you located, by the way? But anyway, y'all, it's almost midnight, and at least here in the Atlanta area.
Down south.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. We had to start over, which was fun. That was always fun.
Yeah.
But we're learning this too. This is really fun. Tony and I have been talking about podcasting for several years. So
we're on it now. We're about to be on all platforms here pretty soon. Everything from Spotify to Apple Music to all that. So thanks for all the support. Share the video. Tell your friends. We're gonna work on doing something too where we can actually bring one of our top interactive fans on to come. I think it'll be fun though. It'll be fun. If we get one, we'll bring somebody on and just, all three of us, and we can just talk about some things because, we got to show some love for the supporters. We got people that's been supporting. It's like on our 5th show, but we got some regulars already.
Yeah.
So I think we should bring them on and when we get to that point, maybe once a month, bring one of our top supporters on. And, if they want to come on and talk and chime in, have them come in, talk and chime in on whatever subject. How about that?
Sounds good. We got Brian in the comments trying to hit on people. Anyway, we will talk.
Making love connections over here on Sky Juice and Tony B's shows.
Yes. Let's
love you too, big bro. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow.
Yes. First time watching, came late, loved it. Can't wait till the next one. All right. Well, make sure you subscribe.
Oh, that's my people, Carolyn. Share it.
We will talk to you later, y'all. Peace.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
Bye.
Thank you.